Okay, there we go. Slide our chairs back over. Get back in the camera shot. There we go.
I think
So
when ACP launches their Australia chapter
I
for
have
the
to go.
entire continent and country of Australia, they should bring us along to do the broadcast.
I think so. We can have Mike sit there and formally announce it. I'm more than happy to be a part of that.
We will work on that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I think the Voice America guys were kind of wanting to hear that one too. Come to Australia.
No,
No. Oh, big
big
spiders.
spiders.
Worried
We
about.
have a no on Australia from one.
Wow. Never thought I'd hear that. The spiders win on that one.
They have Cheetos in Australia. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah,
So we got
yeah.
one yes and
One
one
no.
no. That's all we need. We'll figure it out. So Alex, earlier today you had brought up COVID.
Oh yeah.
Um, so I thought it was interesting. So I don't even know what day it is. What day is it? Tuesday? So
Tuesday.
only yesterday, Monday, again in my sleepless travels, the United States FDA signed off on an updated COVID-19 vaccine and booster shot. So moving it one step closer to making that shot available to the entire general public. So I think it's ages 5 or 6 and up, no other restrictions. It says the decision, this was from CBS News, the decision comes amid an increase in COVID hospitalizations and concern about the spread of several new variants. But I want to look at this. I always try to come up with something with a twist, right, for you, because I have to. We've talked about COVID, and you've talked about COVID with Regina and other guests, myself, a lot. So here's my question about COVID. With this is now year 2 or 3 of boosters. Do you think annual COVID boosters are going to go the way of annual flu shots, where it's just a thing? COVID never goes away, and you just get a booster every year, and it's like, okay, every cold and flu season you get your shot if you do that, and then every COVID season, maybe is this just going to become like a commoditized form of preventative healthcare?
Yes,
Okay,
that's
that
my
was supposed
answer.
to take 10 minutes and it took five
I
seconds.
I honestly think it will. It's interesting you just mentioned what was approved here in the U.S. yesterday. In Canada, they also approved the booster shot, the Moderna booster shot, and even last year they were already saying that if you're getting your flu shot in the fall, time it with your with if you are getting one COVID booster, and they
Yeah.
said next year they're we are telling everyone to do it, get both, and is some talk of already combining them, the shots, so you get one shot that covers the whole thing. So I think things are already heading in that direction, and I every year I get my flu shot.
Yep.
I make sure I'm protected. I don't want to end up with the flu. The older you get, the more dangerous it becomes. So I'd rather be protected. And COVID keeps changing. There are new variants that are out there that are floating about. People are getting sick. I know a few people that have COVID right now, that are isolating at home. They just kind of know what to do now. I've got flu symptoms. I've tested positive for COVID, or whatever. So I'll just work from home, stay from home, and that's it. People know what to do. I don't know about down here in the US. I don't see it as much, but up back in Canada, there are a lot more people wearing masks again.
Mm-hmm.
In the airport, there was, when I landed in the US, there wasn't as many, but there was up in Canada. The transit systems, half the people had their masks on again, people walking down the streets, and it just became, okay, COVID's around, we know what to do. And with the shots, I think people just know, okay, we just get our shots. And I'm not knocking anyone in the US, but Canada was better at getting their shots and wearing their masks than, you know, down here, So I think up there, people have just, well, we have to do it again. So let's just start doing it now. And hopefully it doesn't escalate into something worse. So
That's why I think going the route of flu shots is really smart. And so if you look at where I live in the state of Florida, you have a very strong percentage of people who are anti-COVID vaccine. But what I found interesting, if you look at the percentage of people in Florida who have gotten the COVID vaccine and boosters, and you look at it by age group, the higher the number goes up for the age group, the higher of percentage of people who get the vaccine. And it's a very similar thing with flu shot. Like you said, I get my flu shot every year. And then as people get older, more and more people get flu shots every year. It seems to be something that people understand, are familiar with. There's been a ton of education and ads and promotions from the pharmaceutical companies, from the pharmacies, even the local grocery store chain, Publix, you can get your flu shot.
Yeah.
So last year, it was the same. I got my COVID booster in one arm and my flu shot in the other arm, like within 5 seconds of each other. So people are familiar. Okay, every fall or whenever I go to the pharmacy or my doctor or the drugstore or the grocery, wherever, and I get my flu shot. Very familiar and comfortable with that. And you do the same thing with the COVID booster. And like I said, I find if Florida is an interesting, our government made, hey, we're not going to close during COVID, and we are anti-vaccine publicly. But then when you look at the numbers of who got vaccinated and you lay that up against age groups, people are, like I said, that it lines up the COVID shot and the flu shots percentages are very similar. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Is COVID never going away? Do we just accept, I guess, the risk? And accept the outcome of boosters, just like we've not eradicated the flu.
We haven't eradicated polio. Last year there were cases of polio again, and we thought we had gotten rid of that, but nope, it's still around.
The other thing I find interesting about vaccines. So again, as I've mentioned repeatedly, my older son is at West Point University in New York, which is part of the military. And there is no option to opt out of anything. And so it's interesting, if you want to go into this career, if you want to be an officer in the military in the United States, my son said the first day he got like 7 shots.
Oh my goodness.
And there was no opt out. It was, you say no and you can go home right now. And so a lot of people who maybe politically felt one way or the other, then when it came time to, okay, your child can go to this prestigious university or not, and they don't care because there's 1,000 people behind you for that spot, everyone lined up. It quickly did not become a political situation. So I'm all for all the shots. In the fall, all the shots.
like my birthday's in the fall, so every year I have an annual physical and checkup. And that same visit, it's what shot am I due? I ask ahead of time, so when I get there they have it ready, and it's either a booster or COVID, or if it turns out to be something else, that's fine, just give it to me.
Or when you travel to certain countries, hey, you can get the malaria or yellow fever or this, that, and the other, or you can be denied entry at the border. Your choice. And then people just do that.
I think that's an interesting 2 words you just said, your choice. And I think people forget, if you do have a choice, what also comes with that are the repercussions of making that choice.
Correct.
Good or bad. It reminds me of, I never thought I'd bring this up in this broadcast, but a song called Free Will by Rush. And the line is, if you choose not to decide, you have still made a choice.
I'm proud of you as a Canadian. You and I have been chatting off and on for 4 years, and this is the first time you've ever brought up Rush. So proud of you.
I held back on that a lot, but I'm a Rush fan. So
if you like that video, thumbs up. If you didn't like that video, thumbs down. But leave me a message and let me know your thoughts. Of course, don't forget to subscribe. And in the meantime, stay prepared, everybody.